Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something simple yet transformative, mastering the art of daily excellence. We often chase greatness like it's a distant mountain peak, a it we have to conquer. But true excellence isn't found in grand, fleeting moments. It's found in the quiet decisions we make every single day. Excellence is not perfection. It's not about never failing, never faltering, or being the best in the room. It's about choosing to show up with purpose, even when no one is watching. It's about doing small things incredibly well, consistently. Mastering the art of daily excellence means committing to progress over comfort, discipline over impulse, and intention over routine. It's found in how you write an email, how you treat a stranger, how you stick to your word, and how you respond when life throws chaos your way. You don't need more time, more talent, or more luck. You need more intention. Each day offers a blank page. The masterpiece isn't the result of one bold stroke. It's the sum of the brushstrokes you make, one by one, day after day. So if you want to be excellent in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, it starts today. And it starts small. One task done with care, 1 hour spent with focus, one act of kindness, done consistently. That's how excellence becomes a habit. And habits shape destiny. Master the day, and you master the path. Because excellence isn't an act, it's a habit. When we hear the word excellence, it's easy to associate it with rare moments of glory, winning a major award, delivering a powerful presentation, or reaching a significant life milestone. These are the snapshots we see celebrated in the media, the highlight reels of success. But those moments, as impressive as they are only the visible tip of the iceberg. What we don't see is the steady, unglamorous work that goes into them day after day, often without applause, recognition, or immediate reward. True excellence is not something that happens once in a while. It is not a one-time act of brilliance or a stroke of luck. It is a discipline, a mindset that is cultivated and expressed through the way we approach every single day. It's found in how you start your morning, how you treat your responsibilities, how you speak to others, and how you handle both triumphs and setbacks. Excellence becomes a reality when we decide to treat every day as meaningful, regardless of whether the world is watching. It's showing up to your commitments with full effort, even when you're tired. It's doing the right thing even when it's inconvenient. It's putting care into things others might rush through, replying to emails with clarity, taking time to listen deeply in conversations, or double-checking your work before handing it in. Think of the athletes who train for years for a moment that may only last seconds. Their excellence isn't defined by the medal. They already lived it in the early morning workouts, the disciplined meals, the nights spent recovering while others were out relaxing. Excellence isn't an event, it's a pattern. Every day gives us a chance to live at a higher standard, not necessarily in dramatic or flashy ways, but in meaningful, consistent ones. Whether you're in a leadership role, learning a new skill, raising a family, or simply trying to become a better version of yourself, your journey to excellence begins with your next decision, your next action, your next thought. The question is not, can you be excellent when everything is going right? The real question is, can you choose to be excellent even when no one's keeping score? We live in a world that often glorifies big wins, promotions, breakthroughs, viral moments, and major accomplishments. But what's often overlooked is the invisible thread tying those victories together. Small, deliberate actions taken consistently over time. The truth is, the foundation of excellence is not laid in bold, sweeping gestures, but in the subtle, often mundane choices we make throughout the day. It's the way you begin your morning. Do you snooze your alarm repeatedly, or do you rise with intention? It's in how you greet the people around you. Do you make eye contact, offer kindness, or simply rush past without acknowledgement? It's how you handle the unimportant tasks. Do you do them carelessly, or do you take pride in doing them well, regardless of how insignificant they may seem? These micro moments add up. Excellence, after all, is not built in one grand act, it's built in the thousand small ones. You may not think that proofreading an email, tidying your workspace, or taking 5 extra minutes to listen carefully to a colleague makes much of a difference. But these seemingly small acts are where character is developed and values are reinforced. Take, for instance, a bricklayer building a cathedral. Each brick may look like an ordinary, repetitive task, but when laid with care, with precision, and with vision, those bricks become part of a masterpiece. In the same way, your daily habits, your words, your follow-through, your focus, are the bricks of your personal and professional legacy. We often think we'll rise to the occasion when a big moment comes, but in truth, we fall to the level of our preparation. And that preparation lies in the small things, the habits we practice when no one is looking, the effort we put into what others might overlook. So if you want to live with excellence, don't wait for the big opportunities to prove yourself. Instead, bring your best to the moments that seem small, because small actions, done with consistency and care, compound over time. And that is what ultimately creates a life of extraordinary impact. One of the biggest misconceptions about excellence is that it means being perfect, flawless, error-free, always in control. But striving for perfection is not only unrealistic, it's actually a barrier to achieving true excellence. Why? Because perfection is rigid, fragile, and rooted in fear. Excellence, on the other hand, is flexible, resilient, and rooted in growth. The pursuit of perfection can paralyze us. It makes us afraid to start, afraid to try, afraid to fail. It whispers that unless something is done flawlessly, it isn't worth doing at all. But that's a lie. Excellence is not about avoiding mistakes. It's about learning from them. It's about embracing feedback, evolving through challenges, and growing stronger from each setback. Think about the artists, scientists, entrepreneurs, and athletes we admire most. None of them arrived at greatness without missteps, failures, or flaws. What sets them apart isn't their lack of error, but their ability to keep going, to keep improving, to keep refining their craft even when things didn't go as planned. They understood that excellence is a process, not a destination. It's built on iterations, not illusions of flawlessness. In real life, perfection doesn't exist. Your presentation may have a typo. Your meeting might not go exactly as rehearsed. You may lose your temper or miss a deadline. These moments don't disqualify you from excellence. They are part of the journey toward it. What matters is how you respond. Do you correct the mistake? Do you apologize, reflect, and do better next time? That's what separates someone committed to excellence from someone chasing a fantasy. Moreover, when we aim for perfection, we tend to measure ourselves against others, comparing our behind the scenes reality to someone else's carefully curated highlight reel. But excellence is not about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were yesterday. So give yourself permission to be human. Embrace the process. Excellence isn't about getting it right every time. It's about getting better over time. When you let go of perfection and commit to progress, you free yourself to grow, to create, and ultimately to thrive. If excellence is the destination, then discipline is the vehicle that gets us there. It's easy to be inspired in the moment, to set a goal after hearing a motivational talk or reading an inspiring book. But real progress doesn't come from short bursts of motivation. It comes from consistent, intentional action, especially when it's hard. That's where discipline separates the average from the exceptional. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early to prepare, choosing to focus when distractions call your name, and sticking to your values even when shortcuts are tempting. Impulse, on the other hand, thrives on instant gratification. It wants comfort now. It wants to hit snooze, check the phone again, skip the hard conversations, abandon the routine. Impulse is reactive. Discipline is deliberate. The battle between discipline and impulse doesn't happen in grand arenas. It plays out in the quiet choices we make daily. Do I scroll for another 30 minutes? Or do I spend that time reading, learning, or creating? Do I vent my frustration immediately, or take a breath and respond with calm and clarity? Do I break a promise to myself because no one else will know, or do I honor it because I will know? Every time you choose discipline over impulse, you strengthen a habit of excellence. You train yourself to act from purpose rather than emotion. That kind of inner strength builds over time and spills into every area of your life. Your work ethic, your relationships, your health, your self-respect. Discipline isn't about being strict or joyless. It's about self-respect. It's about aligning your actions with your values. It's about deciding that your long-term goals matter more than your short-term comfort. And here's the secret. The more often you choose discipline, the easier it becomes. It creates momentum. What was once difficult becomes natural. The gym no longer feels like a burden. Focus becomes a habit. Showing up becomes part of who you are. So when you feel the urge to quit, procrastinate, or give in to what's easy, ask yourself, is this choice moving me closer to excellence or further away? Because mastering daily excellence isn't about dramatic breakthroughs. It's about winning small battles, again and again, between the disciplined path and the impulsive one. At the heart of daily excellence lies one powerful principle: intentionality. To live intentionally means to live on purpose, to make conscious choices instead of drifting through life on autopilot. It means that your actions, your time, your focus, and your energy are directed by your values, not your impulses or external pressures. Many people wake up and immediately fall into reaction mode. They check their phones, respond to notifications, go through the motions of their routines, and end the day wondering where the time went. Life becomes a blur of to-do lists, deadlines, and distractions. And while they may be busy, they are rarely intentional. Intentional living is the opposite of that. It begins with clarity, knowing who you are, what matters to you, and why you do what you do. It means starting the day not with urgency, but with awareness. It means asking yourself, what kind of person do I want to be today? What values will guide my decisions? What actions will align with the life I want to build? When you live intentionally, even ordinary moments take on extraordinary meaning. A conversation becomes an opportunity to connect, not just to respond. A walk outside becomes a chance to clear your mind, not just to pass time. A meeting becomes a space to contribute and grow, not just another task to check off. Intentionality turns routines into rituals. It turns habits into anchors. It transforms work into a form of service, and transforms goals into a way of honoring your deeper purpose. Of course, intentional living doesn't mean you'll never get distracted or make mistakes. It doesn't require a perfect plan for every hour. What it requires is presence, a willingness to pause, to think, and to act with meaning. You begin to design your day instead of just surviving it. You begin to choose your response instead of reacting blindly. That shift, though subtle, is powerful. You might not always control your circumstances, but you can control your mindset, your effort, and your focus. And when you consistently choose to live with intention, you build a life marked by clarity, integrity, and excellence. So instead of asking, did I get everything done today? Ask, did I live today the way I meant to? Did my actions reflect my values? Did I bring my best to what mattered most? Because daily excellence isn't just about what you do. It's about why and how you do it. When people look at someone who excels, a world-class athlete, a masterful artist, a brilliant thinker, they often attribute their success to talent, intelligence, or luck. And while those things may play a role, they're never the full story. The real force behind greatness, the quiet, often overlooked driver, is consistency. Mastery in any area of life is not the result of occasional spurts of effort. It's the product of showing up, day after day, and doing the work, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it. That's the difference between those who dabble and those who become extraordinary. The willingness to commit to steady progress, no matter how slow or invisible it seems. It's easy to be consistent when you're motivated. But motivation is fleeting, it's emotion-driven, and emotions change. One day you're fired up, the next you're exhausted. But consistency doesn't rely on feelings. It relies on discipline, habits, and systems. Consider the power of compounding. If you improve just 1% each day, that small improvement might seem negligible in the short term, but over time, those tiny daily improvements snowball into exponential growth. A person who writes 1 page a day will have written a full-length book by the end of the year. A musician who practices for 30 focused minutes every day will outgrow the one who only plays when they feel inspired. Consistency also builds confidence. Each time you follow through on your commitments, even the small ones, you send yourself a powerful message: I can trust myself. That inner trust becomes a foundation of resilience. You no longer need external validation to keep going. Your own momentum sustains you. More importantly, consistency creates identity. The person who consistently writes becomes a writer. The person who consistently leads with courage becomes a leader. The person who consistently trains becomes an athlete, not because of talent, but because of repetition and commitment. You become what you repeatedly do. Of course, there will be setbacks. You'll miss a day. You'll fall short. That's okay. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's not about never missing. It's about never quitting. So ask yourself, what small action can I commit to every single day that brings me closer to excellence? And am I willing to stay with it, even when results aren't immediate? Because mastery is not a moment, it's a mindset. And it is built, brick by brick, through the discipline of showing up consistently. We often think of our lives as a grand masterpiece waiting to be completed. We imagine a future where everything aligns: our goals achieved, our dreams fulfilled, our best selves finally realized. But here's the truth. The masterpiece is not created someday. It's created today, one stroke at a time. Every single day is a blank canvas, and whether we realize it or not, we are all artists, shaping our lives with the choices we make, the actions we take, and the attitudes we carry. Some days may look like rough sketches. Others might be painted in bold, vibrant colors, but each one adds texture, depth, and meaning to the larger picture. The danger lies in waiting for the right moment, the perfect plan, or a stroke of inspiration. We tell ourselves, I'll start when I feel ready, or next week will be different. But weeks turn into months, and months turn into years, and slowly, without even realizing it, we hand over the brush to circumstance, routine, and regret. Excellence isn't achieved by waiting for the perfect canvas. It's achieved by picking up the brush and painting today, even if your strokes are shaky, even if the colors don't blend perfectly. What matters is that you show up and create. That you treat each day not as a repeat of yesterday, but as a fresh opportunity to bring something new, something intentional into your life. Today is your opportunity to speak with integrity, to learn something new, to strengthen a habit, to forgive, to try again. It's your opportunity to define who you are becoming, not through your intentions, but through your actions. And the beautiful thing about life's canvas is that it allows layering. Mistakes from yesterday can be painted over with growth. A shadow from your past doesn't have to define the light you bring today. Each day is a chance to revise, refine, and recommit. Ask yourself, how do I want to show up today? What kind of brushstrokes will I leave behind? If today were the only representation of my life, would I be proud of what I created? When you begin to see each day as a unique and unrepeatable opportunity to move closer to your purpose, you no longer live passively. You live with presence, with urgency, with reverence for time, because in the end, a life of excellence isn't made from a few defining moments. It's made from thousands of quiet, courageous, creative decisions, one day at a time. And that day, friend, is always today.